You guys remember that time that the right lost their mind because Barack Obama wore a brown suit to work one day? And now, granted, I saw it yesterday, but yesterday was a wild day. And I just saw a follow up report on the Secretary of Labor having to leave. Get this, guys. Not only because she was having sexual relations with staff members who worked for her, but because she had told her staff members to be attentive to her husband and father when they came into the Department of Labor and made untoward advances toward the younger female workers that worked there. Her husband was barred from the Department of Labor because of the fact that he had sexually assaulted two workers there allegedly, and I believe him all day long. And her father, this is just gross, man. Her father, who's got to be my age or older, is in there trying to do some tail snagging at the Department of Labor with the young ladies who are just very professionally trying to do their job every day. And to me, that's just the grossest damn thing I've ever heard of. And it's like, my God, is there not anybody? I mean, you got Patel, who allegedly is dead fall over drunk everywhere he goes. They were looking at trying to get some equipment to break down the doors in his hotel rooms because they couldn't get him out of bed in the morning. You got Hegseth, who was, I don't even remember the convoluted story there. Basically, I think met his third wife while his second wife was pregnant. I mean, I can't even remember the stories. And then we've got a president who's been convicted of sexual assault as well. And I don't know why, but it just hit me today, man, how the right lost their minds that day that President Obama wore a brown suit to work one day. And not a word about the rampant alcoholism, drinking, abuse of employees, the fact that they're using government planes for private travel left and right. I mean, my God, Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski, who have allegedly been in an affair for years, while Kristi's poor husband's at home stuffing balloons up his shirt to get a little bit of attention. They bought a Shag plane. I don't know any other way to put it. They bought a plane to Shag in. And now we find out that we're going to use that plane. The first lady's going to get to use it, and others are going to get to use it to fly all over the world. I mean, it's just incredible, guys. You can't make this stuff up. Rural America, listen, we're past the days of you being able to claim that we support Donald Trump because of the moralistic nature of the Republican Party. These guys have taken morality and punted it so far out of the stadium that you couldn't find it with a blue tick hound dog. And it's time to just admit that. There is no morality left in this administration, and the Republicans that support it and don't say a word about it in Congress are no better. They just overlook it. They don't do anything about it. They're no better. So that moral high ground that you used to claim, it's gone. It is gone. So you think maybe now, instead of being holier than thou and voting for these fake Christian politicians that have no moral compass or base, maybe we could start focusing on the policies? Maybe we could start focusing on the fact that they cut $137 billion from rural health care and that hundreds of hospitals are closing. 33% of us are losing our health insurance, and our insurance rates have doubled out here in rural America. Do you think maybe we could focus on the fact that they're passing vouchers that are doing a reverse Robin Hood on our public schools here in rural America to pay for kids that already are in private school, whose parents, about 30% of them make more than $250,000 a year, paying for them to go to private school? You think maybe it's time to fix agricultural policy in this country? The same ag policy that makes up to 35 to 60% of the GDP in a lot of our rural communities? I don't know. Or I guess we can just cling like old Jack did in the Titanic to that door frame, believing that the Republican Party best represents our moral values. Because if it does, there must be a hell of a lot of drunk swingers taking advantage of the company credit card in rural America. That's all I have to say about that. Have a good day, everybody.